What's going on, everyone? And welcome to the year 2021 and our first episode of the year.
Yeah.
So we took a few weeks off, dealing with family and dealing with everything of the holidays, especially with the work and everything that we've been doing. But we are back finally and ready to kick off the year with all the gaming announcements, everything that's been going on in gaming, everything that we've been playing.
Yes.
It's been a lot. It's been quite a 2-week journey, I would say, with a bunch of new games and everything. And of course, everything that has been announced, because there has been awesome announcements, some good ones, some not so good ones. But hey, we're here for all of it. But welcome to episode 5 of season 2 of Pass The Joysticks and the first episode of 2021. But since it's been 2 weeks, Nick, what have you been playing in the 2 weeks? How's your new year? How were your 2 weeks?
It wasn't bad. I mean, there's not really anything I could think of that's like the year started, like a particular way. I don't think anything bad's really happened, honestly.
Yeah.
It's been very busy, family, work, and stuff like that. So that's been trying to, leaving the holidays and going into the slow period of the year now, the beginning, the first 2 months or so. Besides that, when I'm actually playing, I've been playing more Smite. I took a break from that, I want to say a month. And I took December to play Cyberpunk and Immortals and stuff like that. Beat Cyberpunk. Got I want to say 16 hours into Immortals now. And I took a break from that recently as well. I've been doing Smite, of course. I've been playing some more mobile games as well. I started a new one called Arknights, which is a tower defense game.
Okay.
You've probably seen commercials. It's everywhere.
Tower defense, huh?
Yeah, it's
wouldn't peg you for the guy.
No,
tower defense.
I like tower defense, but
right.
it has to be a very specific game, and it's tower defense with anime characters.
Oh, okay.
So
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty
that's
sick.
The little spice to it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of salt.
Good, that's good.
Besides that, nothing I can think about. What about you? Anything different?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing quite a lot in the past 2 weeks. So I said in the last episode that I was able to get a PlayStation. Finally got it in, and I got my hours in on the 2 games that I purchased, which were Spider-Man and Godfall. Finished both of them, so finally got done with those. And I gotta say that Spider-Man was very underwhelming from what I was expecting, and I wasn't expecting much, but it really was a letdown, to say the least, from it. Even though the mechanics and everything were amazing, Godfall, on the other hand, bro, that game was just ridiculous.
Gorgeous, right?
It was amazing. The storyline was was very linear, so the story is pretty much very straightforward, but what really impressed me was the graphics, the mechanics, fighting style was amazing, and then the boss battles were just so fun to do. So Godfall was amazing. Other than that, I've been playing obviously my Animal Crossing that I usually do every day, and then a lot of Smite. And yes. I recently started Immortals also, so finally started. And I can't believe I bought a Ubisoft game.
Hell yeah!
But I started playing.
What a good game!
That.
I keep saying.
Yeah, no, it has been fun so far. I haven't played much, but it's been fun for what I've played. And then we actually started getting back into Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 2, which was pretty fun. And then Game Pass has also Injustice 2,
yes,
which we also downloaded.
It's been a long time.
It's been so fun.
It's been a long time.
Injustice, yeah, it's been a while since I played Injustice, because I remember I used to own it on the Xbox One, and it was physical, and I haven't bought physical games in forever. So that was probably one of my first games when it first released. But yeah, been playing quite a lot. It's been a fun journey. From the past 2 weeks, I've been playing a lot of different games and experiencing a lot of stuff. And I will say, before we get into the episode, I will say that in the last 2 weeks, I really noticed that I'm not really a first-person shooter kind of guy.
It's funny you say that, because you're talking about all these games and none of them is a shooter.
Yeah, only Star Wars, and that's not even first person. Exactly.
And
even though you can
Apex?
make it. Yeah, you can make it first person, but in reality, I never play it first person. And I noticed it. I had a revelation the other day when I was just going through my games and everything, and I was like, damn, I'm really not a first-person shooter kind of guy. Even though I can play them, and maybe I'll play a few matches here and there and everything. The only one that I can see myself playing a lot, it's Overwatch. Because Overwatch is, like my soul there.
Yeah. And that's one of the main games. I mean, Apex was our main for a while, but we're kind of
we're just
hiatus.
Exactly. We're just leaving it as it is and everything. But I find myself having more fun in other style games like MOBAs now with freaking Smite, and then playing a lot of different things with Injustice or now Star Wars or I don't know, a lot of other stuff.
Third-person shooter, fighting game, MOBA.
Right, a lot of different things. I mean, I started Resident Evil today again.
Third-person adventure.
Yeah, so like a horror game too. So I find myself having a lot of fun with those type of games. And not to take away from the first-person shooters, because I know there's a lot of you out there that play a lot of first-person shooters, especially like, you know, the Call of Duty, the Apex, Battlefield, whatever it is. You guys enjoy that. And hey, more power to you guys. But I don't know, I'm finding myself now enjoying other style of games, and I can still play the first person shooters, but I don't know. But
there's been there's not a first person shooter I see myself like really wanting to, you know, like multiplayer based. Like
yeah. Because first person shooter, I mean, I could play, I don't know, I can play like a single player game in a first person shooter, and maybe I'll have a good time, but even then it's still kind of iffy.
Yeah, like Cyberpunk.
Yeah, and even then, I don't consider that a shooter technically.
It's very, you know, RPG punchy.
Exactly.
So,
but yeah, it is what it is. It's one of my revelations. I just wanted to get that out there because it's been a fun 2 weeks when it comes to like the gaming style and everything that we've been doing. But welcome to our next episode and the first episode of the year. Let's get into it because we had a real interesting 2 weeks, and one of the big things that happened, and we'll get into it right away, it was the Smite World Championships.
It's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, man.
Honestly.
It's my first time.
Always around a good time.
It's my first time watching them, and what a fun time that was. It was just so incredible. Once you actually get into a game and you watch the competitive scene of that game, it changes your whole perspective of it.
It opens up so much because now you're kind of just like thinking about like, oh hey, what do I do? And what they're doing that, they're buying this, they're doing that. And what's really cool about it, it's like a really like small side note, is that when you're watching competitive, in the bottom it shows like, you know, the characters, it shows you what they buy now,
the items and all that stuff.
Instead of just like eventually seeing
trust me, I took a lot of screenshots and everything because it was like, okay, this is what they buy and these are the situations that they're buying them in. So I was like, okay, now I can think about what I can build as I'm playing, which was very cool. I will say this, my World Championships were a blast. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Knights. What an incredible performance they put. I will tell you that it was my first time, but I just saw them clawing their way through those freaking brackets.
I think that's the only time that's ever happened.
It was
where they went from bottom to 30 championship.
Literally, it was just incredible. They did 2 reverse sweeps in the tournament, which was amazing. It was just a blast watching them play. It was just so fun. And to be honest with you, I really had Ghost Gaming as the team to win it all. Because
they're stacked.
From the times that I saw them play and everything that they did, I felt like Ghost Gaming was just blowing through everything. But Pittsburgh Knights, man, what were your thoughts on the whole tournament?
Oh God. So like I've been, I wouldn't say big into Ghost, but I'm more lenient towards Ghost because I've liked those players individually more, and seeing them as a team is like nice. This is sick. Like Final K being the best solo, I guess I consider him, and what most people consider him, as one of the best solo laners pretty much out there.
And he did a great job too.
And again, he absolutely unreal player. But what's crazy is the only team that they've lost to was Pittsburgh, and that was sometime in the middle of this year. So to have it come back again for championship and then going against Pittsburgh and you know,
going into the final round
3-2 is it was Knights were 2-0 and then Ghost won 2 and then it was the final match and then
it was incredible. It was just a great match, and I'll tell you, like, it really opens your eyes on certain gods in how to play them and how to build them and how to actually play the map too. Even though the map is changing because obviously the reset is happening. But getting into the Smite World Championships, I mean, a lot of news happened, and we're getting a new map for Conquest. We're getting a new god. We're getting new items. The PTS is actually on console now. Yeah,
they brought that out for a while, and usually they do PTS 2 weekends. They do it launch weekend, and then they do it the following weekend. And they said they're just doing it that weekend. Because I guess they're launching it soon. End of January, I'm assuming, so like another week or so. Which is cool because that means we just get to play it live. Obviously, they're tweaking some stuff.
But it was fun. It was a good time. I mean, what are your thoughts of the new changes coming up into the new season?
Starters is a huge thing because they removed starters for season 7. That was pretty much season 6 and below. I think 6 and 5, if I'm not mistaken. And starters were pretty much what everyone used. That's what like everyone was adjusted to because
tell us what are starters for those of us that don't know.
Yeah.
Because I started on season 7, so I don't know what starters are.
So starter items, like when you play the game, you're like level 1 or level 3, whatever mode that you're playing, and you buy an item specific to a class. It's kind of like blessings, which are currently in the game, which is the exact same thing, but they're removing them. Starters were better, and they're gonna be better because now you can actually keep them for late game. So like, let's say you buy a starter at level 1, and you like that starter item, and you're like, I don't want to get rid of it because I think it's cool. They give it upgrades now. So now you get to level 20, you upgrade it. It's like an item.
Okay.
It does a lot for what it is.
That's good.
And each class has 3 different ones. So you have your main starter, and then once you hit level 20, you have 2 options to go from. You can go like super aggressive or super defensive.
Interesting.
And you can kind of choose
depending on the type of style that you're playing through the game and everything.
Yes. And another thing, I said this before because I've had friends that I work with that were like, "Oh, I saw you watching the championship at work or not," and they were like, "What's this game and stuff?" And we were talking about it here and there, and talked about it for a bit. And I'm like, "Oh, it'd be cool to play." And I was like, "Well, if you decide to play it, wait for the new season to drop because they're doing like a tutorial mode." And what that is let's say you bring like a friend of yours, or I bring someone I know into the game. You go into your settings and you put on like tutorial basically, and when you're playing, the screen will guide you. So it'll do like hints and stuff.
Interesting.
It'll tell you, hey, you're playing this lane. Go down this lane and do this. Hey, at one point in time, maybe 2 or 3 minutes into the game, hey, you might want to grab this red buff or something like that. So it guides you throughout.
That's actually very, very good. It's actually very helpful. I wish I actually had that when I started playing.
Yeah.
Because it's fun to know what it is. It's good to know where you're going, pretty much. That's how I would see it. And then especially buying items and everything, that can get a little confusing, even though they have auto buy, and then the auto buy for the skills too, which is really helpful in a sense. But you want to be able to build yourself, and you want to be able to advance as it is yourself. Yeah. So it's actually good, and I feel like that's actually going to help a lot of people coming into the game and help them enjoy the game more.
Yeah, because I see it being another situation where they're going to drop more stuff this year. They said they're doing 2 more collaborations, so it might be the same realm of TMNT or Avatar again. So I could see them kind of getting that tutorial system out now. So when people decide to play the game, when those come out, they're like, oh, this game's kind of cool actually. Right. And then they play it and they play it and they play it.
And they see a lot of stuff happening and everything because, a lot of people, for example, myself, I started playing when the Avatar stuff came out. And it was a good time. Yeah. I actually found myself this season or this moment now with the TMNT playing a lot more. So it was a good time overall, and I feel like I enjoyed it to the max. And now I'm a Smite player. Like now I'm in it.
It's fantastic because I've been like been like praising and talking about this. And whenever you guys were playing like whatever games you were playing back then, I'm like, I'm gonna play Smite tonight because I don't really feel like playing anything else. Right. And now it's funny because I get on and like everybody's on
Smite.
So it's like nice, very nice.
It's a really good time, and I feel like I'm enjoying it so much more now, and especially understanding the game more. And as the time goes, you learn. Pretty much every time that I get on, I learn something new. Yeah. So it's a really great time.
Well, I will say the best thing about everyone who's eventually gonna hop on a game, or when season 8 officially starts, the first week is the best time to play the game on Conquest because everyone's learning the map, everyone's learning the items, so everyone is on
everybody's on the same playing level.
So it's a lot less stressful on like new players or more recent players, or even like somebody like myself who's been playing the game for a few years now, where like we're all on the same plate. Sure, the only thing I feel like you might have different is like player knowledge.
Yeah,
or, like,
the knowledge of what you're doing.
Yeah, but you're trying to get adjusted to like what you're doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, on how you're doing it, how you're maneuvering and all that stuff. Yeah. So I agree, yeah.
It's going to be fun.
We'll see.
That's going to be a fantastic time.
Yeah, the Smite World Championships were amazing. Again, congratulations, Pittsburgh Knights. It was a great showing that you guys put. So we'll see you in Season 8. Yeah. Because it's going to be really, really great.
You're already on the map with the flags. So
we'll see. Pretty much. Exactly. So we'll see what happens. But next with Ubisoft, which is my least favorite company, but they have come out with a lot of news and everything in the past few weeks, and they announced, or they didn't announce really, they teased that they are actually going to be working on a new Star Wars game.
Yes.
And this Star Wars game is supposed to be the biggest Star Wars game that has ever come out because it's going to be open world. So what are your thoughts of an open world Star Wars games? What can you expect out of it?
Well, I already have somewhat of an expectation because it's funny you say it's a big game, but the company making it's called Massive. They're the guys from The Division.
Yeah.
And I personally love The Division. I love the first game, and the second one was fantastic. I wanted to get more into the second game, but what always ends up happening is they come out with this massive game that I want to spend time into, and then there's other games that I've been looking forward to that come out around that time frame. So I'm trying to balance it, and it's just kind of the flaw of that. I usually end up booting it for like an hour.
That's how it is.
But I'm excited in a way because I mean, open world Star Wars game. Have we ever had one?
I mean, not
that
really.
You can think of?
Not really. We've had very linear stories of Star Wars games. I mean, Force Unleashed was.
Oh, that was fun.
Open-ish, but not really because it was very linear on the story. And
or Fallen Order wasn't open.
Order, yeah.
But they gave you the option to be like, hey, go here, go here.
Yeah,
go here.
right.
And
so you can do
stuff.
either missions and everything, but this is like full-blown open world and everything, and that is crazy for me to like kind of think about because. When I think of an open world game, I'm thinking more in the realms of like Cyberpunk or Assassin's Creed or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they're massive open world games. Witcher.
Drop you on the map and hey.
Yeah, do whatever you want. So in a Star Wars scene, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna drop me off in a planet or can I travel between planets? You know, so like now we're in the realm of No Man's Sky. Now we're in the realm of all these massive games that it can change your whole scenery wherever you are. It's crazy for me to think. I personally, and it's Ubisoft, and this is coming from me. I personally don't think they can pull it off. Maybe with the help of Massive, they'll be able to. But it's I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just
Division 2 had problems on launch as well.
I mean, of course, and you got to think about because when it comes to open world games like that, I mean, Assassin's Creed always has problems when it comes out. Yeah. I can't think of a last Assassin's Creed that didn't have problems. The Division always had problems.
Yeah.
But I mean, they know this. So if you're a fanatic of Ubisoft and you go into the games, you expect this. Now, if you are thinking of releasing a massive open world Star Wars games, you're actually calling a lot of fans of Star Wars to come into your company and try these games that probably have never played your games.
Yeah.
So you gotta be very careful.
That's a big
you gotta be
thing
very
to
careful.
Do.
Yeah. So you gotta be careful on how you do it. How if you're setting an expectation of having a open world Star Wars game, it has to be massive in my opinion because you have so many planets that you can visit. Or are you just gonna give me a story that I'm gonna be somebody, then you're gonna drop me out on a planet and that's where I'm gonna play? Then it's not what I'm expecting.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it's I'm trying to be realistic here. Like I can't tell if
it's not. Yeah. It's tough.
I can't tell if they're gonna do like an open world, like an actual like one planet, or if it's gonna be like a multi-planet situation where you have cities that you can visit.
Exactly.
I think their smartest decision would be have like one planet and then have different zones on that planet that you can go to. That's the only thing I can think about.
To me, the only way that they can pull it off, and this is a big maybe, it's if they do it in a sense of Destiny. Like a style of Destiny.
Yeah.
So if they do it kind of like Destiny, then maybe they can pull it off where you can be in the zone, in the cosmodrome, and you can be in the space or whatever, and then you can choose the planet, and then they drop you off there, and then when you go into the planet, it's not that big, but you have a lot of stuff to do. Yeah. Maybe that'll be a good way. But again, hey, I don't know. We'll see.
It's hard to tell. Yeah. It really is. Unless this is like a next gen only title. And they like fully hammer down on it.
If they do it only next gen, and I really hope they do, because they have to actually pull off what they're thinking of doing.
Yeah, current consoles aren't gonna be able to handle that.
No, definitely not. I mean, we saw what current consoles did with Cyberpunk, and they weren't able to handle a game like that. So a Star Wars game of that scale, I don't think there will be. But we'll see.
We'll see
hopeful. What happens.
It's all hypothesizing at this point.
What do you guys think of the new Star Wars game teased by Ubisoft? You guys think it's going to be a great title? What are you expecting out of Ubisoft with this Star Wars? Are you excited to see it? Tell us in the comments. I am very skeptical, so we will see. But another big thing was Nintendo brought a lot of good news, especially today. We're actually filming this on the 14th, so today they actually announced Pokemon Snap is having a release date of April 30th. So you can actually start pre-ordering it today, and then it'll release on April 30th. I don't know if you ever played Pokemon Snap. We never talked about it. So
we talked about it when they
first announced it.
when they announced it. Yeah, but I haven't seen anything since.
So
it's been like a few months.
I'm very excited for Pokemon Snap. Even though, I wasn't a big fan of the first one because I was very small when it first came out. I was very young. And I really didn't get into it because I was a lot into like fighting games at the time and a lot of adventure games. But Pokemon Snap was really fun for the time that I played it, and I'm very excited for this one because it opens a lot of possibilities with obviously all the new Pokemon that have come out since then. We have over 800 Pokemon now. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can happen with the new Pokemon Snap. And of course, it's on the Switch. So
it looks gorgeous too.
Yeah, so the Switch can do so much with Pokemon Snap. So it's really fun. And then they also announced Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. They showed a lot of snapshots from it, and it's coming out on February 12th. So it's very soon.
That is super cool.
Yeah, it's very, very soon. And when they showed the stuff, it was amazing. One thing that really caught my eye was in Super Mario 3D World, you can actually start the game like immediately from the start screen. So when the start screen comes up, you press A and you're in the game. Yeah, you're in the game. It was amazing. So I'm very excited for Super Mario 3D World. And to tell you, actually, Super Mario 3D World was my favorite game on the Wii U. That was my favorite game that came out. It was amazing. I loved it completely.
Were there many games on the Wii U?
I mean, there were a lot.
I don't remember.
There were a lot that I enjoyed. Like, I mean, they did a remake of Breath of the Wild, which was Breath of the Wild. Oh my goodness.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Okay.
For Wind Waker, and that game was amazing. And I feel like the Wii U is the best way to play it because of playing it on the TV, and then you see it on your screen. You have the map available on your screen at all times. You see it on the game on the TV. And having the map available, it makes the game so much better because you don't have to pause the game, open the menu, pull up the map, see where you're going, and then
nice.
So it's really fun.
Yeah.
But the Wii U had amazing games, and Super Mario 3D World was just amazing. So I'm excited to see what Nintendo brings. I'm a big Nintendo fan, so as you guys know. One thing that I will say, I've actually been reading the new Super Mario 3D, Super Mario Mania manga, which recently got translated to English for the first time ever, and it's been so fun. So if you guys see it, check it out. It's available online. You can purchase it through Amazon. That's what I did. And it was really fun. So if you guys are a fan of any manga style, this one was super fun, and it's the first time ever that actually got translated to English. So yeah, I love Nintendo.
Yeah.
But another big news, and this one was kind of one of the sad news, but I'm happy in a sense. It was Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter game, got delayed until 2022. So a game of that scale, I mean, you saw the trailer for Hogwarts Legacy, and a game of that scale, I'm glad it actually got delayed until 2022 because
what's the point?
I don't think it was ready for this year.
No.
Yeah. Well, so
like the game called that Pragmata game that I was like, oh my god, this game is gonna be amazing, and they were like 2022.
Yeah. There's so many games that we still haven't heard from. So many games, and what is gonna happen? Are they gonna be in 2021 or we're gonna see them next year in 2022?
Crossfire, man.
Yeah, Crossfire. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to Crossfire?
I haven't heard of this game since they did
Crossfire. We actually did me and Nick actually tried the beta for it. It was actually a blast. It was so fun to play it. And we, in the beginning of the episode, we were talking about first-person shooters, and that is a first-person shooter that actually changed it up a little bit because you play by stages, kind of like what Battlefield does in Conquest, or not Conquest, but the other game mode, where you take one area of the map, and then after you take that area, you advance to the next one. So it's actually pretty fun. I'm very excited to see what Crossfire does, and when are they gonna be released?
Well, I guess they announced it right when the Xbox came out. I completely just didn't realize
it.
They just said 2021.
Okay.
But Xbox still says 2020.
Yeah. So in reality, there's still no date.
It's just in limbo.
And
it is what it is.
We heard about that game. We played it. I would say last year, right?
Yeah.
So it was
summertime.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. Yeah. The beta
was
came
good.
out.
No, the game was really good. I was looking forward to it because I feel like all of us were gonna get the game.
Yeah.
And it was a fun time.
Free multiplayer. You pay for the single player.
Yep.
which I would pay for the single player.
I mean, yeah. So to see it, the style of it was really fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Halo comes out and the multiplayer is free.
Yeah.
You can pay for the for the story.
Or if you have Game Pass,
I will.
free.
Exactly. If you have a Game Pass, and if you have an Xbox and you don't get a Game Pass, we
It's
said
kinda
it this
weird.
many times. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's kind of strange.
You might as well just have Game Pass at this point.
I mean, why don't you?
It's just-
Because if you're paying for Xbox Live, why don't you get Game Pass?
Yeah.
That includes Xbox Live. But whatever. Anyway,
you get Injustice. You get a bunch of other
you get so
fantastic
many
games that they keep. They just added 4 games today. Granted, 3 of them are PCs, Game Pass only.
But they keep adding a lot of games. I mean, Resident Evil 7, it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So.
Imagine when we wake up and Fighters is on Game Pass.
Goodness.
Even though we already own it.
Yeah, exactly. But for a lot of people, it'll bring a lot of
Please play the
people
game
into it. It's just crazy. Well, I'm excited to see what happens. But Hogwarts Legacy is delayed until 2022. And if you guys saw the trailer for Hogwarts Legacy, it's the Harry Potter game that is gonna be kind of like open world in a sense.
Yeah, open
in
worldish.
Hogwarts, where you get to create your own wizard or witch. And you get to, go through your Hogwarts life and see what the story takes you on. And I feel like a game like that is very ambitious on what they want to do.
like super.
Yeah.
I can't even think about how they're gonna go about it. Visually speaking, gameplay speaking,
right? Because think about of the Harry Potter franchise as a whole. It'll bring a lot of fans into gaming that that always wanted a Harry Potter game like that. You get to create your own person and then go through the years of Hogwarts. So I'm very excited to see what they do. This might
be a seller.
It is good in a sense that they delayed it until 2022 because they can actually deliver the expectations that we're having. So in a sense, I'm excited. I'm very happy to see what they're doing.
Be a good time, hopefully.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then finally, we got some announcements today for Resident Evil. We are actually getting a showcase of Resident Evil on January 21st. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern. And they're actually going to show the first ever gameplay for Resident Evil 8. And a lot of stuff for Resident Evil 8. Hopefully we're going to get a date. I am very hopeful. I'm not holding my breath on it, but we'll see what happens. As you guys know, I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I mean, that is my all-time favorite game like ever of any franchise there is out there for gaming. Resident Evil is my top game. And Resident Evil 8 is going to bring so much into the story because it's continuing the story from Resident Evil 7 where you play as Ethan. And then at the end of Resident Evil 7, if you haven't played it, spoiler alert, you see Chris Redfield. And in 8, you're actually going to be with Chris Redfield and some stuff is going to happen. So we'll see on January 21st.
See actual gameplay too.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like...
I'm very, very happy, very excited.
I'm excited to watch you play it.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. As you guys know, Nick is not a big fan of horror games as a whole, but he does watch gameplay of it.
Too spooky for me.
But I am excited to see what Resident Evil brings, and I know this one is gonna have so much. But
I'm excited because I feel like it's different. They're going about it differently instead of doing zombies or a plague or something like that. They're like werewolves.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, cool. Let's see how this goes.
I'm very excited to see. I mean, because you never know technically how this is gonna tie into the story because we're playing as the new character Ethan, which we only saw in 7, and a lot of stuff was mentioned from Resident Evil franchise. Obviously, seeing the new Umbrella. Seeing Chris Redfield into it, but how is that going to tie into the story? And we're gonna find more in Resident Evil 8 because it's gonna tie into having Chris Redfield. Maybe now we're gonna get a lot of story from the previous Resident Evils. Maybe he'll mention Leon. Maybe he'll mention Ada Wong, Jill Valentine, Claire Redfield. So a lot of people that can bring into the story. Who knows if we're gonna get returning characters other than Chris into the game? So I'm very excited to see.
Imagine they bring back what's his face.
The bad guy?
No.
I would love Albert Wesker to come back.
Yeah, well, the other protagonist, what was his name?
Leon?
Yeah.
Leon Scott Kennedy. That's my favorite character of Resident Evil. So even if he comes back, that would be amazing because, in a sense, if you saw the trailer already for Resident Evil 8, you can kind of see Chris as a bad guy. I don't know if he's turning into a werewolf or if that's him or not. But what if it's Chris Redfield and they need somebody to help, and Ethan to actually stop Chris?
What if Ethan's a werewolf?
What if
Chris is stopping him?
What if Ethan is a werewolf? What if you're playing as the damn werewolf? That would be ridiculous. But
that'd be super meta. They're like, hey, this is the villain. You're the villain.
Yeah, it would be so crazy. I mean, there's so many things that they could do. I'm very excited to see what Resident Evil brings into the plate, because I'm here for anything that they announce, to be honest with you. I'm excited for anything they do, because Capcom is my favorite company, and I know they do a good job with pretty much anything that they put out, with Devil May Cry, with Resident Evil, of course. They just do such a good job.
The prettiest, one of the best games of 2020.
They do an amazing job. So I'm excited to
even better on the Series X.
But yeah, Resident Evil Showcase on January 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern. Check it out, and we'll talk about it whenever it happens, because I will be here for all of it.
We'll most likely record that day and have more news, whatever happens.
Whatever, yeah, exactly. We'll see what happens.
Hands on first.
Yep, definitely. I'm excited. But finally, I mean, what would be... Let me ask Nick a question, because what would be your New Year's gaming resolutions? Ooh. What would be... Now that we're in the new year, we want to hear from you guys. Put it down in the comments. What is your New Year's gaming resolution? So what are you hoping to do with gaming? What are you hoping gaming will bring to you? What are your gaming resolutions for 2021?
I got one realistic... two sort of unrealistic.
Okay, right. Let's do the realistic.
The realistic one first.
Go,
kind of bonkers off the wall. The first one would be to start tackling my single player backlog and get more into the games that I've always wanted to play and never touched.
Yes,
like The Witcher.
Oh yeah,
it's still sitting there downloaded, and I think I got 30, 40 minutes into it.
How can you mentally put yourself into a 200-hour game? How can you mentally go there? I mean, I don't know if you're doing the DLCs, but if not, then let's say 100 hours. Let's say 100 hours.
100 hours.
How can you mentally prepare yourself for an adventure like
kind
that?
Of just I don't know. Kind of just tackle it a little bit by a little bit,
because that game can really take a toll.
Yeah. But I mean, it looks fantastic. And I heard nothing but good things about it. Mm-hmm. That's all I've heard. So I want to give it an actual try instead of booting it up for an hour and just being like, nah, I don't want to play this. Yeah, because I feel like that's the thing. I got to get past the initial hour or two.
You do. And Witcher, it's one of those games that picks up after you pass a certain stage. After that, you'll be invested.
You're just kind of into it. Yeah. That's what I want. Two. Either announce that we're getting like a Splinter Cell sequel, or I mean, I was playing Vanquish, and that's a super fun game. Have that come back, I guess, but I doubt that's the case. But apparently, that game sold a lot, which blows my mind.
Yeah, because it wasn't such a mainstream title.
Yeah, for it to sell a lot is still baffling to me. Mm-hmm. And there was this third game that they announced for Xbox that was gonna be an Xbox Series X title.
Okay. Well,
it was the robots. Do you remember that game?
Oh yeah. Mecha Echo Machina.
Echo Mecha, Echo Machina. One of the two.
Something like that. Yeah.
That game. Give us a launch date.
Yeah.
When it comes out, because we keep seeing the trailers. There's only the one trailer, and they're always showing it for commercials, or if you're going to retail stores or whatnot.
Nothing.
And we still haven't seen anything.
But nothing yet. Yeah.
Either end of year or beginning of next year. They did say 2021, so I'm kind of hoping it's a mid to end of the year.
Yeah, hopefully
it is free to play.
Year. Yep.
So let's hope.
Hopefully it is this year, and hopefully it actually delivers, because it looks fun. It looks so good. Yeah.
Absolutely fun. I hope that they make it more in depth than just, because they kind of look like one of those games that you boot up and you're like, oh my god,
yes,
and then you're done for the day. So I'm hoping
we'll
it's
see.
More.
Yeah, hopefully it actually is one of those games that actually gets you invested into playing it more. And if it does, then I mean, bringing actually a community with it would be amazing.
You add it to my daily list.
It does need. We do need something different than our yearly games that we usually have, or we usually get, your Assassin's Creed, your NBA 2K, your Call of Duty, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We need something different. So if a game can do that this year, if a game can just wipe everything out and just bring our community into it and just changes the way that it does it every year, I'll be happy with it.
I'm hoping, because there was a game called Section 8 on 360 that was kind of like that. That was
I remember
Section
Section 8.
A.
Yeah, that was
super
a fun game. Yeah, that was a fun game.
Yeah.
It was very obscure, so I'm very very surprised that you actually mentioned a game like that.
Yeah, that was look it up Section 8. We'll look it up and type in like 360 because you might get something completely different.
Oh no, yeah, 360 game.
Yeah,
Section 8.
Completely out there for a 360 game. It was really fun.
It really was. Yeah.
Are you waiting for anything crazy?
Me, I mean, for me, it's kind of like the same idea that Nick said, is just tackling a lot of single player games. Because we want to be talking a lot of what single player it is actually going to be bringing through the year. I mean, I already posted on our Instagram a few games that I finished this year, and that's what we're going to keep doing. So any games that we do finish, we're going to keep posting about them. So like my main thing is obviously just tackling all my single player games, and then hopefully we do get games that actually just revolutionize gaming and just takes advantage of the newer consoles like the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series. So we'll see what the new year brings, but my expectations are going to be very high for the new consoles because they are performing incredible with the PlayStation on Spider-Man and Godfall, and then the Xbox on any multiplayer, and then load times with the ray tracing and everything. It's just been incredible.
Unreal.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see what the new year brings. I'm hoping E3 happens this year, even if it's digital only, like the Game Awards did. So I'm hoping we do get a lot of good announcements. Maybe God of War gets a date. Maybe we get more announcements on PlayStation exclusives. Maybe we get a bunch of new announcements on like Fable on the Xbox. Maybe we get a date on that.
Scarlet Nexus date. Yeah.
We get the new Indiana Jones game that was teased and everything.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about, but we don't know anything about it.
It was pretty much just like a tease of a word saying
so
it's an Xbox game.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Bethesda is bringing out a lot of stuff, especially with the Elder Scrolls 6.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
A lot of speculation, a lot of waiting.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see the new stuff that they bring into, because developers are there working hard on their games, and now they can take advantage of the newer consoles, which is an absolute incredible thing to do. And again, if you guys don't have Game Pass, please get Game Pass, because the catalog on Game Pass just keeps increasing,
bigger,
and it's just gonna be amazing.
Oh, and the Medium is being added later this month.
Yep, the 28th of this month is the Medium, so I mean, it's on Game Pass. It's there, so it's my most anticipated game in this month, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much like
so
first quarter.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens, and then catch Resident Evil Showcase on the 21st. Yeah. But that is it for us today. The new year, new episode for us, and then we're gonna continue bringing more stuff to you guys.
Yes, super excited. Again, it's always a blast. I'm always happy for the beginning of the year because we usually get some like interesting stuff. We usually get some new announcements and whatnot. So I'm hoping we get more in the future. I'm hoping we wake up one day and there actually is that fabled Switch Pro announcement that they were talking about with Metroid and all the other shenanigans. But until then, just keep an eye out for the channel, of course. Keep an eye out for the Instagram, where we'll post more of the single player games. Once I actually beat Immortals, I will actually post something about that. I'm taking my time because there's so much to it, and I want to enjoy it for what it is. And then Pablo's got some few games that he wants to knock out too. But until then, y'all take care. Don't forget to pass the joystick.
All right, see you later, guys.